All right. Let's get into this game. We have Lee Sin and Rek'Sai being banned against Kingen. So Lucid was very good at Lee Sin in their last series versus KT. So I think that's a no-brainer. Nautilus also going to be banned here. And Corki versus Chovy. It has to be one of the go-tos. And Talia versus Chovy. Those have not been Showmaker champions, so you're not actually picking apart Showmaker's pool. However, Azir has been re-enabled on 14-6. It's going to take Kalista, Renata, Glask, so it's just a free Tom Kench here. Send a Tom Kench. We are scaling Azir probably here. Nope, Twisted Fate for Keen. He has been one of the more notable Twisted Fate players alongside Doran in LCK. Thank you, Stormwolf744, for your sub. T1 soon. Well, T1's in 3 hours. Today might not be a trash day, but I'm here for the trash. Glorious Raccoon. Stormwolf. All right. And we have Jax into the TF. Still going to be a little bit hard, even if you can, in theory. That's probably for Lucid, though. Lucid's been playing Jax as a flex pick for them. Probably don't want to play it in Twisted Fate, even though you can dodge the gold card. Okay, Poppy be taking away into the Kalista. Makes sense there. I mean, Kenya's not a big Poppy player. The Maokai, much more threatening. They're going to take away Sejuani, so what is Kenya going to play? Like, all right, they're taking away the Jace. And it will be Rumble. Rumble. So that should be top side. They tip their hand that the Jax is going into jungle. We are just going to take the Vi then. That's a much more Canyon-style pick. And Azir. Yeah, the Azir makes a lot of sense. And we're going to play Aurelion Sol. Okay.
Powerhouses of the Kalista Renata. Jax also can be great in skirmish. Same for Rumble. And now you have your late game insurance in the ASO. ASO has been kind of on
so bot lane. In essence, guys, bot lane should be pretty passive over here. We'll see if they can actually stack Drakes. We can actually farm up on the Jax and the Aurelion Sol here. This should have pressure. This lane should have pressure for DPlus. Actually, will this one? Twisted Fate. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to the top side. Very strong combo, obviously. You can gold card into Vi Q, into Vi ult, and just lock them down forever. And the Azir, the Chovy special. Very strong 1-3-1, though. And that's important to note here. With the Twisted Fate, and with remember that when GenG plays Azir, it's often a split pushing Azir. As Chovy gets flexed into the side lane pretty early on a lot of the time.
Yep. I don't dislike what DK have, but this is exactly the type of comp where one...
To some degree, DK really have GenG's number, even if they don't win. It's always closer than it should be. True. Although, you know, that was true last year. And it has been true, you know, second round robin and into this series. But most of the players on these teams have changed, right? So, like, Chovy and Showmaker is still the mid lane matchup, but, you know, now Canyon has swapped teams. Keen is on this team. Lehens is back on this team, right? So there's been a lot of roster changes. So the majority of the players are different, so we try not to run with that narrative too much. I think GenG is exploitable in the early game bot lane. It really showed this series. Yeah, but T1 thought that as well, and Pays and Lehens did very well in that series in lane. I mean, I would have agreed with you, but that T1 series kind of redeemed them in some ways.
But even so, we are ready for game number 1, guys. Let's hop into the Rift for the first game of this best of 5. Here we go.
Damn, they go for the sponsor name too, not just DPlus, but DPlus Kia fighting.
They played 5 games against KT. They have the passion of their fans after that unexpected victory coming into this best of 5.
I think this game, early game, we should be pretty passive by DPlus.
They look very prepared. This could get ugly fast.
No, having Jax who just wants to farm and get golden levels alongside the Aurelion Sol feels a little bit tough in the early game to make plays.
Some of the setups here, there's actually a couple of really interesting choices that have been made. As I'm wondering if they're actually going to be looking to go for this early invade. There is vision, so
Brother Monty, let us get this LCK church in. We are. We are worshiping.
So I think an invade is
Insane this series went 5 games. Yeah, it is crazy.
We have Hail Blades for Trophy. We have Exhaust for Keen. As like they know, but I don't think that really matters. We'll see if they actually try to look at contest, but I think we're just going to be playing with vertical jungling here. And if you're the one with a Kalista Renata bot lane, vertical jungling towards the bottom half of the map is going to feel amazing. One downside.
Well, it's also going to feel amazing because Kingan's going to be in danger on the top side because Bai is going to be unharassed, is going to get level 3 and probably gank top into a gold card.
As you mentioned,
As Exhaust, Keen took Exhaust instead of Ghost this game just to stop the Rumble all in.
and the junglers will react in kind. As Aiming and Kellen already looking to put on that pressure, the extra range from the Renata Glask, and a very strong duo with the Kalista Renata.
Okay, it'll third wave crash on the bot side. They know where Canyon is thanks to the ward here. So they know he's on red buff right now. Really in Soul with Breath of Light can be very annoying in terms of harassment early. Chovy took Hail of Blades, interestingly, this time. Just to take, like, kind of short trades with Showmaker.
Look at Lucid.
Interesting. Interesting tech. Ward right here, too, to see if they're going to dive on third wave. Or on fourth wave, rather. As this third wave.
Cleanse is available for Pace, though.
This might be tricky.
Strong. Lehens.
They hit level 2. Oh, that's not great timing.
Also hit level 2. The stun is going to come in, and Pace in a lot of trouble.
Okay. Let's take a look at this again.
Let's see if he can keep Pace safe, who has also hit level 2. The stun is going to come in, and Pace in a lot of
Who
trouble.
took that? Oh, I guess Kellen takes aggro. I can't really see it. Yeah, he does. That's really nicely done. So they take aggro. Abyssal Dive goes up here. But he takes the center route and flashes before it actually roots him and it stays out of range. Lucid takes it, but he's able to leap strike out. So Lucid doesn't even have to use flash, and they get a kill there. Unfortunately, Lehens is still here, and he's the one who's actually farming. But they're doing a good job of zoning him out. What would you have expected from Chovy Runes? Fleet footwork? It's pretty standard for Azir in the year of our Lord 2024.
It's exactly what you want to see from the side of DK if you are a DPlus Kia fan. They get it started very early.
So that was a pretty good dive, though, from DPlus. Very nice.
And if you're going to have a chance against GenG, you have to
grasp.
you have to make plays like that. You can't just sit back and let Canyon find the angles and get GenG ahead, because you will not be in a good spot. As we'll take another look at this dive.
Even with them Pace hitting level 2, it's just not really enough. But there is a lot of utility, even with Kellen.
Kellen plays that very well.
Finding the full value, still tanks as much as he can. Lucid doesn't.
The thing is that killing the Senna is just killing the support, right? You still got 20 CS on Lehens on the Tom Kench.
And the kill goes to Aiming. And obviously, Kalista getting ahead is the best case scenario here. And the only good thing for GenG is that
They snack on a lot of Kokal corn in Korea. I ate it sometimes, especially when it was a sponsor of OGN. I haven't had any on this trip, though, to Korea. I have not Kokal corned. Those are just bugles, basically, for you guys who don't know.
That's not really gonna matter.
Yeah, it's not going to matter too much. I mean, DPlus, at least, they do have some late game win conditions in their own right. The Aurelian solo we have seen, especially in long games, just kind of gets out of hand with that upgraded ultimate.
I heard Pace turned into a pumpkin in the series. No, there's no way that would happen. He's first team All-Pro, not Viper.
How many defensive items you have, how much.
No, Pace, I have been told by reliable voters in the LCK that Pace is the best AD carry in Korea.
Chovy, on the Azir, should be able to match and should be a bigger force throughout the early and mid game.
I've been told.
Yeah, I also trust Showmaker's ASO, but I don't trust DK to play a late game. If that makes sense.
Yeah, That makes sense. No, yeah.
All right, so Canyon, this is interesting. So Canyon actually, you know, he's not going to be able to play to bot side, but he's going to get 5-minute grubs here because Jax is heading down. We'll see if he takes one or all three. He should take all three, in my opinion. Yeah, he is. Okay, so the reason why he's going to take all three is because the combo of Azir and Twisted Fate, with the way that GenG like to split pressure on the map, if they get 6 grubs, they are going to destroy DPlus with split push, right? And side lane pressure. People often ask me, Monty, is 6 grubs a bait? And my answer is sometimes. But if you watch T1 play with 6 grubs and you see how effectively they play the map with it, or you see, probably I would assume you see this composition play with 6 grubs, like, it could get really crazy, guys.
So no big surprises in that regard. And as you would expect, I think Kingen falling a little bit behind makes sense, because if you don't have all in threat, because in the early laning phase you're playing not only into exhaust but also into a map that's being split away from you, you're not really going to have the early pressure that you'd ideally like with the Rumble. The Infernal Drake is picked up here.
Now, first of all, best of I'm going to watch since World Finals. Well, welcome back. Going to be some good matches in playoffs in general. You should come back more often in the next couple weeks. There's a lot of good LPL games. There's going to be a lot of good LCK games. We'll do T1 versus Hanwha tomorrow.
And let's see if this dive can actually happen. Kingen is level 6, so he can always equalize with a wave if he gets into a little bit of a rough spot. But he doesn't have any vision at the moment. Yeah, good call. I think they know. Don't know if that'll... Yeah, it should be enough to fully clear it out. So, very nice read. Just those 2 minions not going to do it here. So, unfortunately...
Imagine I know the game score. I know it's a 5-game series. I do not know which team wins which games.
The Ether, I assume?
Very sad.
Yeah.
It's gone now.
Could have grabbed that one, Pace.
In solo queue, I think they have a higher value than in pro. No, I think they have less of a value in solo queue. I actually think they are pretty bait in solo queue. You only need to kill 1 or 2, and that's it. Drake control, I think, is much more important in solo queue, because teams are too dumb to use grubs effectively. And like, your team you can get 6 grubs for your team, and then your team just never has pressure the entire game, so they're useless.
Yes, Lens is getting solo XP, but it's not a Nautilus, it's a Tom Kench. We'll have to wait and see his impact on this game as it comes along.
There's also the fact that because of the Renata and Kalista lane already being this far ahead, like, Pace is sitting at 10 souls last time I checked. So he's going to be really hamstrung because he doesn't really get to play.
TF top? Oh yeah, that 2 pound, you've been out of it. That's the thing now. It's broken.
And he died.
It's extremely good.
Because of the dive.
Hey, he was level 2.
Yeah, true. And that one, I don't necessarily think is on the bot lane. I think it was just a really good set prep play from DK. But that is going to be a problem because it is one of the big win conditions. Is this Senna actually being a threat? And right now, that is looking very far away. We'll see to which extent DK is going to be able to actually utilize that.
Yeah. It's going to take a long time
very
to
much
get there.
Yeah.
All right, so pretty passive early game. I'm very curious about this next grub spawn and if GenG is going to prioritize that. Feels like they definitely should, in my opinion, with this composition, the way that Chovy plays his ear.
Also curious about his jungle Jax and how much value he's going to get out of this. We have seen
Chovy with the Merc Treads first, dodging out of Breath of Light.
Other playmaking junglers, but the Jax more of like a farm it up, you know, maybe hit your Counter-Strike and try to follow up on plays alongside of your team. But might have to be the main engager for his team because they don't really have much else. Outside of like a Fate's Call Renata engage, which is always a little bit not good.
Not the engage Renata. Everyone's worst nightmare, only rivaled by the nightmare of an engaged Braum.
Or the Flash W Maokai plays.
Well, you know what? That one I'm like, that's the least bad out of those.
It's not as bad, yeah.
It's still bad.
All right.
It's on the list.
It's definitely
Looks like they're still trying to make a play around top side. Kingen has had very good instincts in this game, but his recall timing is sus. Remember, he doesn't have TP, and he's leaving with 30 seconds on spawn, so he's not going to be in position. He's not going to be able to keep the wave pushed out. Wave's going to push back in. They lose control over Scuttle Crab, so they're like opting in to give up 6 grubs because Lucid's bot side. This is interesting. I would fight for these if I was DPlus.
As you point out,
This is actually very terrifying, potentially.
and he didn't get the early kill, which good for aiming, but a bit rough for him. 2 Drakes going to be absolutely essential here, so in about a minute we will have the Ocean. Ox isn't in today.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a Cloud Soul, because
I mean-
Atlas is here to keep us safe. It'll be fine.
Yeah, and I think Ox is watching, so at least he'll be able to keep us safe from the Chemtech Soul if he's paying attention.
I'm sure he is.
I know he doesn't have a second monitor, so that should help out
I hate Merc Tread's rumble.
in terms of his attention.
As
Yeah, it does feel bad to build Merc Treads instead of
stars
Sorks.
being, taken away from Kingen for going Mercs.
Yeah. I don't
I
really get it.
So I do get it because you're playing, because you're playing into point and click CC, and Lucid is playing towards.
All right, so they got all of the 6 grubbies, guys. The grubbies have been taken.
Get any value out of it. I don't.
Oh man, I have bad feeling about this for DPlus. I think grubs are really good in this game for GenG,
Yeah, but like, what do you like? What would that be like? Leandri's.
and they are not.
Riftmaker.
Oh god. Like battle.
They are not even really opting into these Drake takes right now.
Really want to see it.
Trying to get some vision at the moment. Pays is still there. Tom Gench is farming in the bot side.
Click CC. But it's like outside of that, it also doesn't really.
So much deep vision from DPlus into GenG's jungle.
Do have position as DK.
Oh man, what was with this recall timing?
You know what? Any value out of it. I don't.
What was with this recall timing from DPlus?
For going Mercs.
In terms of his attention.
What happened?
Didn't get the early kill, which good for
So
him.
they push up here,
You know what that means.
It's a Cloud Soul.
I mean,
and Renata backs, so they get pushed back. Then Callista backs during the grub take.
Yeah.
Renata comes in. Renata goes to the jungle, gets
They don't really have
3 really deep wards in,
But like, what do you like?
and triggers Blast Cone over the wall.
You don't go.
But
Revitalize 'cause you're
Ocean Soul is live now. And because you have Aurelion Soul, you really never have mid control in the early game.
seen it on the ladder.
'Cause he just
but I
gets
don't
shoved
really
in.
see it in my LCD.
And Aurelion Soul doesn't have TP. Showmaker and Chovy's TPs came out at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's like outside of that, it also doesn't really do a whole lot. This
And
is-
so now they can't actually get this Drake, which I think is one of the key win conditions for DPlus to keep this stacking.
Fresh backs. No one-item spikes being hit.
See if they fight this anyway.
Banana brush
Remember,
control
neither
for
top
me.
laner has TP, but and Kingen doesn't have ult because he ulted back to lane.
Kind of position at this point in time. Looks like Canyon just wants to go for a pick off, maybe on the Showmaker here. As fighting pretty much everywhere on the map, a lot of skirmishing here before we do get into this objective. Kingdom with no TP, but obviously Keen also at the moment no Destiny, so this should come down to a 4v4 if they fight over this Drake. As Lucid's just gonna go in, just do a little bit of chip damage and hold on to his banana brush.
This is where we also see the level lead for Canyon come through due to his farming being a lot better. Currently up a level, about 18 CS, but I do think you don't contest this at GenG. I think it's nice that
Okay.
GenG are like, hey, poking and prodding, can we get something?
So I was going to use grubs instead to get a plate,
If this
and
was
then double back
challengers,
once they have bot pressure.
We'd be already.
This Drake would
Nope.
have flipped like 3 times already, at least. As we do have the confirmation that Ox was, in fact, not paying attention, unfortunately. As Equalizer's going to come down, but he doesn't do damage because he has Merc Treads.
And just the haunting, guys.
Yeah, so...
It's the lane pressure that he's playing for. You know, now he gets
Sure.
now he gets the back. It's a tempo. We'll let Huni break it down. I'll just let the rumble be.
I think I see 2 stars so far, only. That's what I'm seeing in my head.
One thing I noticed about Showmaker's Aurelion Soul play is how he uses the breath to trigger Comet before he hits the wave with it.
When you play against
So you make sure the maximum poke gets on enemy champions. Interesting.
tech, which in the grand scheme of things is not what you're looking towards. You really ideally would want maybe a Mountain Drake, because I do think GenG could really struggle when everyone on DK gets a bit more beefy. especially
This is like typical last year GenG though, which is like give up early Drakes and then just like fight on Soul.
in general.
You know, scale up, fight on Soul, get some extra gold as a result. They're barely ahead in terms of gold right now though.
Nice, that extra shielding
But they
up against the side of GenG.
didn't
Yeah,
get
just
that.
a couple plates, one plate in mid, one plate in top. All right, so we've lane swapped up
A little bit of
in time for Herald spawn,
virtue of your passive.
but Pace is helping to push out in the mid lane.
Chovy just
TF is going to go, he's leaving.
sitting at 150
Tom Kench is leaving. Tom Kench has TP. He will TP into top side. Vi is bot right now. 17 seconds until we see the Herald spawn.
Full rotation ahead of him is Lehens, who was dove very early on and is Kench, so
It's fine.
it's fine.
He's hanging out. He's gonna get tanky regardless. And
He'll do
yeah,
his job.
I think the bigger part of that is that aiming is quite fed at the moment. As the handshake is perfect. From
Oh, nice. Denied the Abyssal dive. But now they know there are two people top.
Commit to it. Will he even live though? As flash over the wall, the Merc Tread.
So Keen actually just TP's back into lane right here.
He's hanging out. He's gonna get tanky.
He's pushed up. They know that Canyon's in pit because they see him with the pink ward. And they try and all in on this side anyway, so that kind of just triggers Canyon to go.
Is in a lot of trouble here. Might have to flash away from this one. He will commit to it. Will he even live though? As flash over the wall, the Merc Tread's not gonna help out in that case.
So they use Canyon's ult, flash, Keen's flash. Kenyon used everything, but now they get the split push set up. Oh boy. Oh boy, those 6 grubs though.
And they see him. Is it going to matter? As the handshake is great once again, but
Wow, Kellen's been on point with this Renata Glass this game, guys.
as Chovy not quick enough to flash over that one, and Kellen has been spot on in this game so far.
Really nicely done there by DK in theory towards the top half of the map. But the problem is that
Technically,
frozen hard into
Yeah, Kellen's been playing really well with these handshakes all game. Handshake, the play under the turret at the beginning, a couple of really crucial handshakes since then.
Not wasting any time. I actually really like the flash Q because it makes sure that King stays in place. We do some reinforcements are coming, but they're just too late. Because if he gets to actually flash, if you just open with an ult, then he might be able to create enough distance. As here we see even a Kench that's 50 CS behind, doesn't matter. Even with the bailout there, I think they could have actually dove that a little bit more aggressively, but you run the risk of the play if it does backfire and you don't get the kill, and you lose in that 1v2, and you lose on the other end of the map. That would be an absolute disaster. And now we're 15.5 minutes in, and GenG have a gold lead.
yeah, this is kind of opening up the map in a huge way.
All right, let's talk about this. So that gank in top side, though, and basically Chovy covering with Pays rotating into the mid lane means that, basically right now, DPlus is spread too thin. They're actually going for Herald. This is a mistake, I think. So you have to ask yourself, what is the value of a Herald, right? Like, you get gold from taking it. But then, maybe you can get a turret, but you can't get any turrets because none of these turrets are low enough to take for Herald. So trading it for a tier 2 is just not worth. It's a bad trade. And this fucking Twisted Fate is so scary in the split.
Because King is just not here. I guess maybe trying to set up for.
So Canyon comes to provide his extra Void Grubs here, and you can see how powerful this can be. They don't get that tower unless they have 6 Void Grubs. Because they get the extra tanking potential of the Void Grubs, and they have it covered, and Canyon comes and drops his grubs there.
Dilly-dally around this objective and maybe get a little skirmish going. They're like, no, we have TF. Just put him in bot, have him shadowed a little bit by Canyon, and just get a free turret, and you don't need the Rift Herald at the end of the day because you're.
When I watch the T1 games tonight, I will watch them tomorrow on stream.
At 16 minutes, Valdez. That's yet another thing of why.
So now all of a sudden we took 2 turrets in the bot lane. Then we're going to use our static shiv on Twisted Fate
And they have 6 void buffs.
Yeah.
As well.
to push mid lane.
But in this case,
It
it's
matters.
amazing.
As pushing it out. Nobody has to care about this next Drake. It's irrelevant. Canyon's here again.
Yeah, they know
Let's get Q out.
he's here, but
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Lucid's like, I have better things to do. These
Yeah.
grubs.
You got to get the crux.
Chovy is 50 CS up or 40 CS up. Crazy.
He's watching that Canyon farm number, and he's like, I gotta catch up.
And he's got the Nashor's Tooth. If he gets Lich Bane, he will just eat people alive in the split.
Triforce here, not something we see often on the Vi. It's mainly just been Sundered Sky, and then maybe sometimes a Cleaver, some Bruiser items, but actually going for a little bit more offensive power here. This would be really big for DK. It's not the best soul, but it's a soul point nonetheless. Showmaker has his ultimate available, but they're very
Beautiful TP by Chovy to set this up.
Well, I
They
mean,
get it for free.
run in, and into the pit, but he's going to have to. Yeah, he's going to get.
Oh my God, he stole it.
But they're very late.
Oh, this should have been free.
Well, I mean, Lucid, he's running into the pit, but
I cannot believe this.
he's going to.
Oh my God. How did this happen? They both smite at the same time? No? What? I don't understand. What did the extra damage? It was just a Sand Soldier auto? Sand Soldier is not... There's a Sand Soldier here, but it's not autoing. Did Chovy do something? Or did Canyon do something? Vi W detonation? Oh, that must have been... He autoed it. Wow. It's pretty bad by Canyon. Couldn't even... The third stack on his W, maybe?
We don't want to fight you right now, and they're just going to let it go.
And Showmaker literally doesn't use ult to push him out. I don't really understand that. You could have at least forced Lucid's flash. Like, what the fuck, man? Just push him out. You're not actually fighting this. Ugh. Terrible. Chovy should have absolutely zoned him out of that. Chovy should have absolutely zoned him out of that. At the very least, he has to flash to get the steal.
I don't think that alone is enough, but Lucid was forged in the flames of endless elder.
Now we just go back to the split pushing. So look at this, guys. Look at this. So Herald is dropped in the mid lane. This Herald was useless, by the way. It was useless to take it, and the trade for tier 2 was very bad. And then Keen just goes immediately TPs to the top side away from the play that just occurred, and because he has 6 Void Grubs, he's going to be able to take it.
That alone is enough, but Lucid was forged in the flames of endless elder flips, and I think we're seeing some of that experience.
Oh, he doesn't actually get it. It's still a really good play by Keen. Chovy now bot side. They're going to spread out and just play side lanes now. Typical GenG. Oh, this is more reminiscent of GenG from last year than this year.
Because even though they do have the insurance of Showmaker still being extremely strong, I just don't feel confident in DK with what they've shown thus far that they can match a GenG and how they move around the map in late. We're already seeing the problems kind of arise early on, right? Like,
it's already happened.
and the engage from DK is really bad. And one of the big things that I think GenG does well is like they're like, hey, are we going in? Are we not going in?
Yeah.
And on the meanwhile, you're losing an in-hit to Keen, who currently is up.
Yeah, they really do a great job. And we have, you know, DK, it's going to be pretty telegraphed. Season's assist. And if not, we have, no, we're not ready yet. And if the time comes where they do want to fight, then they can say, okay, now we're going to go.
TF picks up the second red buff activation there as Vi kills it. So Vi takes the red buff, hands one off to Twisted Fate.
Either King or Showmaker to reliably deal with. Even without delete, the Zero in general is just really slippery. But you're also playing into TF. So you need to be so respectful of any Destiny gate timing. So actually getting Prio on a wave is incredibly hard. We saw it there as well. Like, yeah, I think DK was a little bit late on their recalls. They were late to the objective, got bailed out by Lucid hitting a 50-50 on the smite there. But
Keen is looking to see if he needs to come in right now, otherwise he can keep split pushing.
How do you start fights if GenG isn't really going in? You can hit it.
You know, what's interesting is like, you know, they get the tower down, move TF up, down, and then Chovy up into that side lane. And I guess we're actually just going to fight the whole... We're going to flip the game over a blue buff.
Maybe Showmaker could find a big ult. But that's a little bit conditional, Kellen.
Well, this is one way to do it. We mentioned it before.
Terrible equalizer.
And then they just press Devour and flash away. And the follow-up is just...
Okay, so let's take stock of that fight, because it's like an important fight in the neutral. So 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Kellen has to use flash there. Nobody uses summoners on the side of GenG, so pretty big win for GenG there. I don't know why we're fighting that if we're DPlus. And they lose mid-tier 1.
The score is like 1-1, and GenG are like, nah, we just don't want to fight. But we'll take all these objectives instead. That's good. We like that.
I can't believe Kellen is playing the world's first game of good engaged Renata, and it still doesn't matter. Like, all of his flash handshakes have been great.
Yeah.
They're still getting pummeled. Look at the grub value.
Where are they?
The
Where
grub
is
value is
DPlus team?
fucking crazy, guys.
They're looking.
They are literally
There wasn't a
5
round
turrets to
there
0
wasn't
now
like
because they
Baron
took 6
Club,
grubs.
there
This
wasn't
is like,
anything
this shows you how good
that
grubs are if they're
made
used
that
by a good
possible
team.
Outside of DPlus just not being there.
They were watching respectfully, okay? They were just keeping their distance. They were watching him take the turn.
Not even menacingly, just respectfully. Like, oh yeah, sure, you can have it.
A key issue here, again, is that how do you start a fight as DK? If you're not first to an objective, if you don't have flank position set up, why not?
Yeah, DPlus has no engage outside of Equalizer.
All turrets for GenG are standing, and they have 0
Or like leap strike, counter strike.
But, how do you actually start a fight? Into Devour, into Chovy having an ultimate available.
Well, Chovy doesn't use his ult that way, though. He doesn't actually use his ult defensively.
Well,
As we saw
eventually,
earlier.
You know, Showmaker gets enough stacks so that he just throws any skill.
Nerf
and
grubs.
They hit him, but that is.
I mean, then they'd be really useless in most like solo queue games.
Because of his farm, is actually able to get, you know, the components shopped together. Currently sitting at, he hasn't had to use his arm guard. Doesn't need it. So he's like, I can go ahead. Second item void,
Sure.
no problem. Although it's going to be crippling.
It is, yeah. Same for King, and he does have that amp tome.
Equalizer is not a good engage tool. It can be.
But yeah, I think that's.
It's a form of non-committal engage. It's okay. It's obviously not a Sejuani ult, but or a Maokai ult, but it's what they've got to work with.
The team that's behind always responds and like, okay, well, we got to try to fight them. GenG haven't done any of that.
They just don't
in this game.
They don't stand for shenanigans, Valdez. They watch them and they're like, nope, not doing it.
And yeah, Kellen has to McHale's himself before the fight even begins.
That's terrible.
They're struggling to even approach the Drake.
I mean, they don't have they don't have any tanks that can actually get vision control. And the problem with DPlus is that they can't get vision control. They can't like work their way into the Drake because they can't face check brushes with any of their champions. And they're playing into Twisted Fate, who can just pop ult and see exactly where they are and create a pick. Yeah, they can't.
I mean,
Oh, God, they had to use Counter-Strike. Oh, my God, Lucid! Lucid, why? You betrayed your team.
No way! He just rooted everybody. Jumps on into his team. And yeah, that's a struggle. Kellen is
Oh, my God.
involved, and DPlus Kia
That could have been a complete disaster.
That wasn't even a fight. That wasn't even a real fight, Chronicler.
It was just a beatdown. Lucid, they're fulfilling everyone's nightmares of.
Are there any other teams besides GenG that you've seen use grubs well? T1 uses them, probably the best.
To me, and people have question mark pinged him a lot.
When will you fight Travis Gafford in Creator Clash? Anytime he wants to.
Yeah, big mistake from Lucid there, but at the same time, like, you see the
Anytime he wants to, I will do it.
It just shows the struggle. Like,
It shows the struggle. Oh God.
well, speaking of struggling, there's no Fate's Call, there's no Flash, there's no Kellen. He did survive.
Although I'm pretty sure only one of us is going to actually be a creator soon. So the window might be closing on that.
And this is every favorite thinking fans game of LCK because I think GenG might
Yes!
take a Baron.
It's my favorite game. This game owns, dude. I fucking love this game.
There's no Fate's Call, there's no.
Ability. He walks up, gets hit.
It just shows the struggle. Like,
It shows the struggle.
Ah, yes.
Oh God.
This, well, he's
speaking of
dead.
struggling, there's no Fate's Call, there's no Flash, there's no Kellen. He did survive there with the bait.
Okay, now we can Baron.
The bailout, rather. So yeah, now the score is 2-1, and this is every.
It's wild that Travis said the same thing. What did he say?
Game of LCK, because I think GenG might just take a Baron with 23 minutes with 3 kills.
This is a connoisseur's game, Valdez.
Doesn't look like they are going to even take the risk, and they're going to root out Lucid out of the top brush, and then say, well, we don't have to force the objective. There's no pressure on us at all.
Some say that the perfect.
This is a beautiful game by GenG.
where you never, ever have
This
to
is
actually
Monty's kind of game. 3 kills at 24 minutes.
Honestly, I think we should just
Split push central, using TF ult away from the action to split push and get objectives.
Right now we have the Veld analyst
Yeah.
and me. So we
The dream.
Yeah,
And we just
need a third.
In moments like this, we should just call up the desker, like the spacer, and just say, hey,
Get him in
up,
here.
You know, like, we need some extra analysis to talk about this macro state of this game because, wow.
That was blind.
Yeah, he had no idea to say, hey,
Get him in
up,
here.
You know, like, we need some extra analysis to talk about this macro state of this game because
That's
That
hilarious.
was blind.
That's hilarious that he just randomly found Kellen. Poor Kellen.
beautiful play from Lehens. Not sure how he knew that was going to happen, or maybe he was just going in there and he's like, I'm just really tanky, so
He
I can
definitely,
just do this.
he definitely could. He also had backup from Chovy, so I think they were feeling very confident. So as long as GenG don't flip Nash, I don't really see a way for DK to get back into the game realistically, because again, oh god.
Is my Discord different from the LFN Discord? Yes.
We gotta clear our vision as a team.
But I don't really use my Discord, so...
You gotta band together.
Is it time for my macro graphic? It will be soon. Oh, I'm so excited to hit the macro blast button, guys. Oh! Alright, so you traded Flash. Kellen has no Flash again, though. Alright, let's check this out. So you're trying to make a play onto Chovy, but you have no idea that actually all 5 members of GenG are behind the Baron pit. Their positioning is super weird. So you think Canyon's there. They just showed vision. So right now, DPlus thinks Canyon is there, but they don't know that there's 3 other people. And they should suspect, however, that Keen is in Destiny range. And so they got Giga baited in, and now they're all going to die.
Trading flashes. I suppose that's good for DK. As now, again, they're just keeping him at arm's length.
Showmaker had to TP in for this. Keen. Oh, the Flash gold card
We don't have a way to get in there. The
onto Showmaker.
and they're just being poked out. As a lick.
Oh, there it is.
Does happen once
There's
again.
the lick.
Canyon does
All right,
get
Canyon has to
the
flash
credit
out.
as
Equalizer. Oh, God.
And they're just being poked
Equalizer and Renata Glassgold just to disengage.
out. Does
So he sees the lineup, and they think they can get a good equalizer, but Chovy actually just dodges equalizer, and Pays doesn't really stand on it, so they get no value. Kellen dies. This is beautifully played by GenG.
Canyon with the R button gets the job done. Well,
All right, that was not so good. That was not so good, guys. Up until that last part, when aiming still had Flash and flashes him under the turret, and then he just gets annihilated by Rumble and Aurelion Soul.
And that'll be the jungler of GenG comp. But they still
It doesn't matter though, because they still have 6 grubs,
continue to push.
and so they'll spawn 8 voidlings at that turret, and the next one, so they're gonna get the next one too. Holy shit, GenG, 7 turrets and an inhib? No, it's a bridge too far. 7 turrets to 0 in this game. 8K gold lead with a 5-kill game. Fucking mwah, mwah, mwah. You love to see it. I love to see it. This is my kind of League of Legends. None of that gruesome blood. Purely map chess.
That isn't going to work. As Kellen, you know what? You got to try something. You got to try and start a fight one way or another. As we do get the kite back here, a lot of flashes being used. Result from Showmaker not getting a whole lot done. And then in the extended play, we see the sustain.
Yeah, the macro blast is happening, guys. We're macro blasting.
Equalizer already has his ult at the ready, so he can't even auto attack. Anyone in this team is Canyon. You know, we've all played by. We know what happens.
Speaking of which, he's going to do it again. Lose
The ready, so he can't even auto attack. Anyone in this team is.
Am I a resident in Korea? Yes. I have a visa. I'm just big chilling in Incheon these days, guys. Yeah, that was pretty bad by Canyon. He got aiming's flash, though, so who's laughing next fight? He's just going to do it again.
He's going to do it again.
No, he actually, again, ulted somebody who had flash up. So Lucid had the flash up this time. You guys don't understand. This is just the way you get flashes every 45 seconds out of the enemy team. Okay? Because he is smart, and he is going to now have 2 flashes down for the next Drake, which will be Soul. I'm joking, guys. This is bad.
Look at this front line. Canyon just being murdered.
But we could justify it that way. We could justify it that way.
Just on the chase. So Canyon, once again, kind of
Yeah, so guess what, guys? Who's dumb now? How many flashes? How many flashes does DPlus have? How many? 0. 0 equals Canyon God. What a genius. Genius. All he had to do was trade 2 vials and 2 lives to get their last 2 flashes. Kleos to Canyon. Glory to Canyon. Glory to Canyon. We could also have a triumph for Canyon. There he is on the back of his chariot.
The flash out of Lucid gets a kill for GenG. Now it's 4-on-4.
And with every Counter-Strike, you're like, is he going to go in? But if he goes in, he dies. But if he doesn't go in, they also die.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that has been the game
maybe
so
this
far.
is the one.
All right, well, we do have a very funny-looking handshake as now Jovi just going to sweep him up, but he just dashes away, but over the
No,
wall.
Jovi!
Will collect the kill. And now this dragon is quite scary, but he dashes away, actually. As the
It's all right, they still don't have flashes, guys.
And from Pays and from Keen is too huge. The range as well. Just going to shell like artillery over there, Tom Kench. Picks up a kill.
Do I read both YouTube and Twitch chat? Yes.
Not enough CC available for DK. Lucid tries to go in, feels safe with Counter-Strike.
The pipeline to LFN is real. Took a break from League for a while. Got back in last summer. Watched OGN highlights and was like, what's Monty and Doa up to? Led me here. Been watching all your shows since then. Are you watching my show with Doa? It's probably the one you most want to watch if that's your story. How's my day been so far? Fine. Why didn't I read your comments? I don't know.
Able to stopwatch, also doesn't get hit by yields, and from Showmaker. And
Meanwhile, this time Canyon's going to
I
send
am
and
reading
you know what?
them.
He's kind of alone as meanwhile on the top side Keen just getting out
I just don't look at YouTube quite as often.
And Canyon actually got out somehow.
yeah.
Who you think winning later? Hanwha.
But Lance completely happy doing that. Pays outside of that dive hasn't really been threatened in this game. Just gets to stand behind the rest of his front line. With that side lane pick, GenG again maintains.
You say G2 better than DPlus? Why? Because DPlus has very shit mid and late game macro and like can throw any lead. G2 has much better macro. And also they have been consistently worse.
And he is going to be just fine, so makes sense.
They look better in playoffs though.
Yeah, that's a perfect GenG gold graph. That's how they look.
Yeah, 45 degrees, consistent.
Yeah, it takes 10 minutes to get going. You gotta drive out of the valley and then straight up.
Yeah. GenG, you know, still getting used to the rift, doing some stretches.
It's important. You gotta stretch.
Going through their routine.
Gotta warm up.
Yeah. And slowly but surely.
But I haven't seen these games yet, guys, so maybe my opinion on DPlus will change.
About 7.5.
All right, it's fine. Asol, he's scaling. He has a death cap. As we take a look, this is what we talked about earlier.
Yeah, we don't need to see that again.
Don't let DK get back in the game that way. Look, they can just push.
Yeah.
Just get the.
All right, uh-oh, guys. DPlus has flashes up again. It's time for Canyon to remove them.
Try to force this one. Lahens, though, taking up so much. And meanwhile, they're doing more damage to the 5.
Dude, I fucking love it. I fucking love it.
GenG,
Look at how they play this.
But nobody else was there.
They get vision control of Baron. Are they going to do Baron? Hell no. Why would we 50-50 split? We have weak turrets instead. We have Keen. Keen can just split push. With his 3 Energizer items, Canyon's just going to cover for him. And these motherfuckers can't do Baron. Because Keen will just port back. Amazing. GenG's too good. Lenshands had a flash because he got canceled out of his Abyssal Dive. Canyon doubles back. And they're stopping backs. Canyon's going to go in. He's trading his life. Go, Canyon. Did he trade his life for the game? Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
Trying to come out here. We do see King trying to get back into the base as a bunch of poking is coming down. Toby, meanwhile, is going to go down, though. As
Oh, my God. Lehenz and Chovy play that so well.
it will be Shomi.
And he doubles back. Oh, my God. Yes. 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 Keen is a genius. I fucking love Keen. He's my favorite player. Look at what a genius he is. Look at what a genius he is. He takes out both Nexus turrets, but they see only 3 people. They see only 3 people. So they know that the Rumble and the Jax are recalling. Look at this. Rumble and Jax are recalling. Keen almost has his ult available. He almost has it, guys.
And that is totally fine as the backs once again trying to come out here. We do see
Look at this timing. Look at this timing. Look at this timing. He's like, okay, they got 2 back. Now, Chovy is going to go in here, and he's just going to all in because Lehenz is there, eats him up right after using the ult, spits him out, has a huge shield. He's running. Keen is running. He pops his ult, then the second it comes up, he pops his ult, doubles back, and then kills them. And now he can just win the game. Oh my God. Oh my God. All the Kleos. All of the Kleos to Keen for that play. Holy moly. What an epic play by Keen. That's such a macro blast, guys. Oh my God. This is my favorite game of the year. This is my favorite game of 2024. This is my favorite game of 2024. Fuck yes. All macro, 6 grubs, play the map, get all the towers. 0 towers taken by DPlus. 0. 0. Every tower but 1 taken by GenG. Only this tower standing. Win the game. I love Keen. Best game of the year.